Hello and welcome to another episode of Becoming a Farmer here in Ghana. Unfortunately, we went on break after our 5th episode. We are back to continue from where we stopped. Today we are going to talk about farm bookkeeping. Farm bookkeeping is very important in every farmer's life. You need to have records of every single thing that happens on your farm. Whether an animal dies, whether an animal is sick, whether you are harvesting acres or hectares of mango fruits, whatever that happens in your farm, you need to have records of them. Now, why is farm bookkeeping important in every farmer's life? It is important because it will be able to tell you how much you are losing on your farm. It will also be able to tell you how much you are making on your farm. So the profit and loss equations would be known by you. Even accountants will tell you that keeping records is not as easy as anything. It is one of the most difficult things that you would ever do. How do you keep records of your farm? After you have started your farm and you really want to make profit, then it is important for you to have a bank account for your farm. It is important to separate your bank account, your personal bank account, from that of your farm. So once you have your farm accounts, then you would be able to account for everything that occurs in your farm. The next thing you need to know is that once you are running a farm as a business, you need to also pay yourself at the end of the month. Don't assume that because it is my farm, so whatever money that comes in, I can do whatever I like. No, you actually need to be paid at the end of the month. Have crops. Assuming you have crops and animals, you also need to separate whatever that happens in any of them. If you are investing into the crop farm, for instance, you are buying fertilizer for the crops, you are buying a new variety to plant, you are buying organic fertilizer, you are doing several other things on the crop farm, you need to take records of that. Similarly, if you are buying feed for the animals, you also need to take separate records of that. Don't assume both are the same or both are your farm, so you can combine it, because it's important to know where the profit is actually coming from. If the profit is coming from the crop farm, you will be able to know. If it is coming from the animals, you will be able to know. So if you are spending 20,000 to feed your animals, at the end of the year or the month, you should be able to know whether you have made profit from that 20,000 or you have lost. Don't combine any investment you make in your animals and that of the crops. Make sure you separate them so that at the end of the month, you will be able to know which of them is giving you profit and which of them is actually sending you elsewhere. You need to be able to know how much you've spent within a week, 2 weeks, or even a month. You would want to know how much you are making from the farm. You would want to know how much you are losing from the same farm. So if you don't take these records, you will never be able to know. That is why most farmers don't actually know how much they are making. How much they are making from their farm produce. They don't know, especially when you go to rural communities. Most of them just invest. They go to buy the fertilizer, and when you ask them how much they have invested within the farming season, they wouldn't be able to tell you. It is not the best practice, because in every business that you venture into, you must know whether you are making a profit or you're running at a loss. Again, if your animal is sick or the animal dies, take records. the day the animal died, the time it died, the cause of the death. You can even take the weight of the animal, the age of the animal, so that you would understand what happens in your farm, so that it will guide you to have a history of the mortality rate in your farm. Your pricing information should also be recorded. How much did you sell a bag of maize last year? Record it. How much are you selling this year? Record it. You need to balance every single money you spend on the farm. At least at the end of the month, you should be able to know whether you are losing, you are gaining, you are making profit. You should be able to know. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for your time. I will be back here next week to continue from where we stopped. If you have missed our last episodes, kindly go to our YouTube channel TNR24 and subscribe. We have a lot of information there for you. Thank you for watching. We shall meet next week and continue from where we stopped.